What is up, YouTube? E-HeroesForged coming to y'all with another deck profile. If you saw in the thumbnail, yes, this is our second place finish. It was a locals of 16 people. The deck performed very, very well. We placed a couple rogue decks and um, really one meta deck, but overall, I mean, the deck performed every way I thought it could. There was never a moment where I was missing something, except for in the last matchup. Last matchup we played Fiendsmith, and I just didn't have enough to get over their boards. They was able to get out a little bit too much for me, but other than that, I mean, the deck performed and it did everything I thought it would. But enough of me rambling on. Let's get into the deck profile. Let's look at these ratios and see what you guys think. We will start off with the main deck. Okay, starting off, we have two Stratos still. It's still one of the most controversial things that people keep telling me about as far as, run three, two's too not enough, and you're always going to need it. It's your main starter, this and that. Yeah, I hear all that, guys, and I truly understand your point of view on it. But coming from, like how I'm running the deck and what's comfortable for me, two has been more than enough. I have never had a matchup where I didn't see this or really couldn't get to it. So I think two's plenty, and that's where it's going to stay for now until I do need more. Could it run the third one? Yeah. But when I was running it at three, then I was drawing two of it every time. It felt like every time I went first or second, I would draw into the second Stratos, and I don't need the second Stratos. So we're going to leave it at two for now, but going on forward, we have one Neos, one Shadow Mist, and we are playing the one Liquid Soldier. I did cut the Wing Karibo level 6. So I did find myself in test hands not needing it. And in some of my practice matches, I would search it out and then end up not even using it. I just wouldn't need it. So I felt like it was just a card if I would draw into it at least, then I would wish it was something else. So I did cut it. I do think this is still viable. The draw two, discard one. I do hear people telling me that it is really not viable as far as getting the draw two, discard one, that it's a waste. But I mean, if you can get an extra card in hand and you just got to discard one, I mean, it is what it is. I'll take that every time. But that is it for the E-Hero lineup. For the Vision package, we have three Ferris, two Increase, and two Vion. Pretty standard. I don't think I'm going to come off of that for a while. There was times during the tournament where I did have that. I did draw into my Increase, so I'm glad I ran two because I ended up being able to pitch that Increase and summon out the other one, whatever. But that turned out to be really, really good. For the Destiny Heroes, we have three Malicious, one Denier, and Plasma. He is the co-MVP of the tournament. Every round I was able to get him out, and people just couldn't get around him. The only matchups I had issues with him was against the was it branded something. He was running something else with it, but it was mainly branded. And then the Fiendsmith uh, matchup, he was able to out this. And there's as far as the skill drain effect on Destiny on Plasma, like I don't agree with some of the rulings there was. I'll get into that later in the video, but other than that, Plasma put in work today, and he was really awesome. And that's it for the the hero monsters. Onto the spells, we are doing three Fusion Destiny, self-explanatory. One of the best starter cards we have, along with three Hero Lives, and a small change-up for me at least is I ran two Polys. I always found myself in my test hands either wanting to have that second Poly because I would use this, get into Wonder Driver and, set it. And I would always want to have another one just for follow up, or if I had a start in hand that wasn't quite good that I could get into some things, like if I drew Increase and Malicious, I can fusion that off into something to get that in the graveyard and get some type of board. But luckily today yesterday I didn't run into that. But two ran very well, and I think I'm gonna keep it at that for a little while. And we do the one Miracle Fusion, the one Mass Change. Still only have one Mass Change target in the extra deck, so I think one is good enough. I've thought about bumping this to two, and then adding something else as far as like maybe something for Stratos, but that's been good so far. And the one ofs, the one Rhoda, one Foolish Burial, and the one Favorite Contact. And that is it for the main engine of the deck. And then off to the rest of it, we are running 3 thrust. I was able to pick up 2 from my buddy Dark Magician Tactics. Check out his channel. Excellent Dark Magician player. Always gives me fits, always brings the best out of me. But he was able to lend me 2 of these the other day, and it made such a difference. We are doing 3 talents, 2 droplet, and 1 pot. And to round off the rest of the deck, we have the rest of it is going to be hand traps. We do 3 ash. And honestly, guys, the MVP out of everything was Droll. Every time I had a matchup where I needed Droll, I drew it. And every time it was able to resolve, man, it shut them down. And I was able to either OTK or set myself up to where I can kind of nullify their board. Because once I was able to get Plasma up there, man, it shut them down. They couldn't do anything with him. And then for the extra deck, we run 2 Dark Law. We run 1 DPE, 1 Dystopia, 1 Sunrise, 1 Infernal Rage, 1 Wake Up, 1 Shining Neos, 1 Absolute, didn't go into him today, 1 Trinity, didn't go into him either. So you can argue these can probably come out, but they are very situational. And there were times where I thought about going into this, and I had other lines to get better stuff out, so I just didn't go with them today. 2 crossouts. This tournament, I actually had to use 2. And I always thought about cutting it to 1 because like I never go into 2 and never comes up. Well, it came up and it was clutch. We run the 1 Devicer. I want to shout out Blake Hero because I was watching his profile and he was going over how to get around Nib. And believe it or not, it was a very clutch line that you kind of showcased because I got this off, was able to search Neos. I got nibbed and I was able to continue off my plays, and I was still able to end off DPE and Plasma. And I think if I didn't see your video to see that, I don't think I ever would have caught that. So shout out to you. Really appreciate the combo video you did on this. The 1 Wonder Driver and the 1 Decimator. That's it for the extra deck, and let's get to the side. Side's going to be pretty generic. We do 3 Dark Ruler, 3 D Barrier. I didn't even have to use this one time. Never had to. 3 Evenly. A little bit of kind of back row hate, I guess. Some Lightning Storms. 2 Regeki, and to finish it out, 2 Book of Eclipse. And that is it for the deck profile, guys. I am going to post some of the matchups. A couple of them, the camera got either knocked down or I received a phone call during the match. I'll know to put it on airplane mode or something like that, or do not disturb next time I go to another tournament. But I'll get some of those matchups posted. The deck ran very, very well. Shout out to the guys in my Discord. Like they kind of pitch their ratios to me. They kind of go through different things you can do. I read their messages all the time. I try to engage as much as possible. Sorry, guys, I bumped the table and I accidentally knocked my camera over. I was going to shout out Blake Hero for the Devicer line for as far as just getting nibbed and being able to combo through our plays and continue through our whatever line we were getting to, or to help kind of set up an easier board to have a little disruption or whatever. But other than that, guys, that's all I've got for y'all today. If you like the video, don't forget to like and comment. If you like this content, I hope to get a subscribe from each and every one of you. And until then, I'll see y'all in the next one, guys. Thank you.